Prepare yourself!
Greet the Reaper for me.
Prepare yourself!
I'm ready.
I'll yield to none.
I'll yield to none.
Meet your maker.
Almost got me that time.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
What did they do to me?
Let's get our bearings.
Ah, you're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because, to answer your question, what the collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Good God. There's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you. Go ahead. She with the...
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow, and we'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Not with that collar on, you aren't. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Thanks. I just want to...
I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
My mum doesn't like elves, but I have a secret. When I grow up, I'm gonna be an...
You look a little bit elfish. Maybe your daddy was an elf. My daddy...
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
Ah, there you are. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies, usually. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after... You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens as quickly as they came. The clouds clear. She's...
Good luck, Chief.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out rot.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and...
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. You have my apologies, fellow elf. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
One of us will kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. We just skipped to the part where I reassure you and you shut up. You think me mad?
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you. Is there? Well, certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single... It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No. I want to know about the Celestial. This text tells me that they created all creatures. But no. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Now, please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to...
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own.
Well. The lizard looks you up and down. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. Music to my... On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short... but to feel the caress of satin on my scarf. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you can cook and tailor, but your personal hygiene still. Beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad? Mad? Insufferable, surely.
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair man. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind...
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bed. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, kiddo. You hear that?
He opens both eyes and turns his head toward you, looking you up and down. He smiles and closes his eyes once more.
You look like a kiddo to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? I wouldn't know anything about it. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it.
His eyes flutter shut.
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't one to hide my the ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates. The groaning of wood from floor.
And?
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen courses.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your...
There! You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman... Pardon my beard. That means if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. So you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. even here.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the joy.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily.
That'll be all, thank ye kindly, Gero.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
I've seen more appetizing things.
If you'll be
coming out
pardoning me, I'll...
Did you see the body? They ought to let you taste a bit. Maybe you'd find out who done it. They're everywhere now, the Magisters. In my hometown, you can't throw a shoe without hitting one. We're not safe from them, not anywhere.
to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. I'm busy watching for clues, Sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3...
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was...
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with point...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet.
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls...
Away with you. At what?
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back. Ifan raises his eye.
What? Didn't make it clear the first time. Scram.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
It was one of them. I know it.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily...
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one. I'm rolling dice, deciding fates.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part?
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. And I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
She pats you on the shoulder, consoling.
There, no need to be a sourpuss. You don't have to worry, darling. I don't lick and tell.
She smiles,
Just a...
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
So, anything interesting for me? I'll take that as a no.
I'll give you that knuckle.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Matt, you faring okay so far? Of course I do. Seems void-walking dog your heels like a shadow. That's no... You'll see. We're gonna help you. You head on in now. Williams will get you...
Keep those bolts trained on her. And if she tries to run, shoot
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo. Do stay and watch, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happening?
No time for chatter. We've got to get out of here.
Magister lies on the floor.
Is blocked. And upwards.
Thank the gods!
He eyes the collar circling your neck.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through.
He whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix. Take out your blade.
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand.
Then the mutiny ends here.
And you thought Rivellon was flat. Suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous insight.
No. What damn fools record knowledge? It catches fire. It turns into must when wet. It cannot even resist acid.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping.
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kindly use the little you were given. Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? Trifling matters like water and poison do not concern me. No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the sea floor, I will... Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrated movement.
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth saving. And I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in my... Go on, go, swim or drown or do whatever takes your fat...
You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither it doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Something's breaking through! What in the hell's are those things?
Deathhawk! I need to get out of here now!
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes.
You said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? Had to open your big mouth, didn't you?
You should never leave someone behind.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a boat. Wait! Voidwoken!
I've faced worse.
Let the games begin.
Into the dark with you!
They who are about to triumph salute.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Did you see them? The Voidwoken. They made short bloody work of our ship.
No telling if there are more ashore. And I doubt that voice will save any of us again. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head.
I'm not supposed to talk to elves. Well, elves eat people and their pets. Elves don't know the alphabet. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than outside. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scared.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They've made it to shore.
stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They're just animals. Easy enough to euthanize.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them.
Drowned and eaten by a void woken. I wonder in which order.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the world... Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Then by all means, dash.
He watches you depart without another word.
A black cat. Some would see this as an omen.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes...
A black cat. Some would see this as an omen.
Never want to step foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never. Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? Sure wish more of us could have been sick. Though, I did see what...
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escape.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more...
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Natusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form again.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, Alice...
Yes, Your Holiness...
I believe we're done.
What a waste. Come. Headed elsewhere. I told him at noon exactly.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
Harsh times require harsh measures.
So much for divine order compassion.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear.
What's going on?
What's this? I found something. I wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its
bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh.
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharp...
Damnation! That's stuck fast. I wonder... Does the beard... Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like... Simply put, I am an eternal. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the... I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in... Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well. foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters.
Under lock and key.
Is it not enough that you travel with? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother. even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier. Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two, combining several of these single faces. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it. Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seemed... it's a terrific waste. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know. Trust you, people like... I'm using the mask to keep myself safe.
Single name throbs across your brain. Verdas, Verdas, Verdas. He must escape. He cannot die here. He cannot...
Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexandar's looking after us in the meantime. And the hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. And that's her in the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? He was all... when we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Void woken... Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. Can't for certain. But I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't. So that's what we do.
I find only bread. I want no trouble. Your grift teaches you to bully others.
A kin, is it? A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. Doubly so for a lizard traitor. It's a pity she couldn't die. The divine order's all that stands between everything you see and a believe it or don't. The divine order doesn't need...
Disgusting like threats.
Dragging this on. Take that on, Lexley. Just hand over the gold.
Respect? Someone's got to keep this place running.
Griff can't.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before...
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth...
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Say, let me show you something.
The dog focuses at the cat at your feet, baring its teeth and growling.
Wait, I call a timeout.
To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. You may keep your shame for yourself. An open heart. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. You walk among the humans too long if you think differently. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees... I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. It gives me great pain. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. Thank you. Thank you for your help with that, thug. Our kind of few here. We must help each other. To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to... I hear of no escapes. The only... In this cave, it gives me... Friend, what do you need? In this cave...
I'll stab you right in the eye. Wait, I call a timeout.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into. This hole is too small for you to squeeze into.
You're too slow. You can't get me. Whack! Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword. Oh, don't you know how to... I know they help. You'll regret that, evil ogre.
The child ignores you.
I'm playing Helene.
Suddenly,
I'll stab you right in the eye.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it?
she laughs and looks around as though taking...
Many people to meet, many stones to turn. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it. Perhaps you keep going. Perhaps you make friends with what you see. There is a great passion in every grain of sand. Maybe you find your adventure after all. I see it before my eyes. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot...
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? My protector, my friend. An elf like me, he is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you bring me great peace. I see something that helps. Yes, please ask. You understand my home. It is... I know they help.
The young girls are...
Ah, hello. I see you come along.
You should know we are nothing without our people, now more than ever. So, hallowed are its halls. Please, comrade, I have all you need to steal your...
Ooh.
I think I love you. Key? What key? Oh, the key! The Magister who took Emmy dropped it when he was walking away. Did someone say Emmy? If you find out where it leads, if you see Emmy, not too far from here, but she was taken by a guy in a white robe who smelled horrible. Lots and lots of dogs, and also a little like dead people. He dragged her to the big castle.
She was the one who sat rolling dice in her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away. And you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the...
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time I'll let my needle do the licking.
To you, I am this pressing pain you wish would go away, but won't.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still all... Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond.
It's dawning on you, isn't it? Why I hate reptiles like you.
Forgive me if I don't take your word.
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
She removes the needle and draws her weapon.
Let's play.
Invading!
Hurts, doesn't it?
Here's the goods. Like you wanted.
Keep it down, will ya?
So this is Fort Joy.
What a crumbling disaster.
What?
You forget my name here?
Who's asking?
He smirks and holds the little...
I'm listening. Can't help you there. If I could, I wouldn't be here peeling goddamn potatoes.
He points the tip of his blade at the grisly sight of the elf hunched over, clutching his knees.
I solve my own problems. A Myro. I guess you mean the clown I caught stealing from my kitchen. He's not going anywhere. Supplies. A crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk. Or all I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate and you got yourself a deal. You already know the terms. Nothing. Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Griff is slowly
What? Who's asking?
He smirks.
I'm listening.
Listen, I can help.
Shut.
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again.
my name here?
Everything now? Good.
If a magister finds this on you, you forget my name here. Take your coin then.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
An elf, caked in mud and blood, looks up at you.
You believe what he says? That I am a thief? Perceptive. Like most men behind bars, I'm innocent. Like most of us here on the island, in fact. Aren't you like me, looking for a way out? I do. I prepare it myself. But you guess I need something too. I know a way out. I show you. And you help me out of here. I cannot die in this cage. Finally. Progress. Griff releases me if he sees I do not have what he misses. After I am free, you are free. Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious. In case you haven't... I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does. Like so. I intend no harm. I want only some provisions. A bit of bread, you understand. Thank you.
Everything now? Good.
Psst. Hey, you're a little light in your pack, ain't you, girl? Who could blame you with the garbage? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Stuff you won't find anywhere else in camp. Procured by special means. Let's just say folks leave here, but they don't seem to take their effects. Maybe I happen to know where everything ends up. Fella in that cage is the thief. Stashed the oranges somewhere before he was caught. If you believe that.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Sure do. Ask me, it'd have to be one of those sad sacks that's always hanging around Griff looking for favours.
She darts her tongue out of her mouth like a snake.
Some folks, and some reptiles, would do anything to get his attention. I see plenty of liars in my line of work. Snakes, weasels, worms. That fella's square, sure do. Ask me.
She darts her tongue.
Some folk... I see plenty of liars in my line of work. It's all in the eyes. George, sure you don't want to have a look at my... Boss don't mind where the gold comes from.
If Boss trusts you to find something for him, you better not disappoint him. You won't like him when... You mean that guy in the cage? Oh, I don't associate with elves. Fella says he's in... yeah. Boss is awful passionate about... Boss will be fine. He's got himself in a fit state now, but as soon as another shipment... Hands out your pockets now.
Fit for beasts.
What do you want, freak? If Boss trusts you to find...
That's what happened, isn't it?
Hinges rust.
The ground. I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Goods. Ah. My mind? What else, kin? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the divine... We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no...
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart.
What? Did you see someone stand on my foot? Good.
Watch yourself.
I fear it will be quite some time. Goods. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Have a look.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead, 1,000 bottles of dust, 50 bottles of tea, make the hinges rust.
When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no sorcerers? Yet so quickly, we find Source so dangerous. What in his death caused it? So Voidwoken are attracted to Source. But why? When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no sorcerers?
In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy. Are you interested? Believe whatever you want. This may be your only chance at leaving this place. Take it or don't. Oh, noble. But after good luck with your friends, though. Enjoy. You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach us. You're lost, my friend.
Where is he?
Send us your children, your supplicants, and you divine.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, I'm sure the Reds told ya, no one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. To be sure, Chief. Pay up and you get to keep your eyes. We'll see about that, Freshie.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all. Lest the void overtake and devour us all. Our Father, who presideth over us all.
It's too tight.
Where are you, darling?
You there? Elf? I'm looking for an inmate. A smallish man, thick spectacles, prone to somewhat eccentric chatter. He wears a large bronze pendant with a dragon stamped into it. Have you seen him? Useless. It is a very important matter that I locate this Migo. Tell me if you hear mention of him.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Quiet! Better if they don't take notice. They'll only make it tighter. Oh, it won't budge. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
She listens, matches your breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Her breathing returns to normal and the panic dissolves.
Thank you. He hasn't changed a bit.
Can't talk now.
Is it not enough that you travel? Go on then, bark away.
Irma? Irma! Please, can you... An elf! Stay away, cannibal. If I find out you've gone near my baby, I'll... Away from me, savage. It's your fault. I'm not mad, dog.
She ignores you.
A fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Yeah, that, Farah? You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you?
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
I seen his help, but none that I can give. Mad as a cuckoo, that one, and twice as loud. Distraught don't even begin to cover it. She's hollering after that child of hers. Killed by a void woman, she was. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
So, time to find this Boris fellow. Later.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
Oh, I don't feel so good.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad.
Say, I don't know any elvish ditties. Got nothing spicy enough to keep my mind off this place for a few bars. Don't break your head, Vic.
Strong. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. He twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blokes. He say he'll touch it all.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton.
Ah! Eh? Oh, that. Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is rewarded tenfold. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business.
The dwarf spits into each...
Bleeding nail must be... Go.
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail...
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I...
He winks and trips a...
For your trouble. No, but I'd hoped to build something with it that would be worth 1,000.
He sucks a finger and holds it up.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well,
he gives you a wry look.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and...
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What matters is what they call me. Now, it's quite a nice-sized place, actually. Play your card. I'll tell you when you're... Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me... Let's get down to brass tacks. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I've picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of crushing and casting. A battle mage, if you like. But there's not so important as team dynamics. So what'll it be? May not look it, but I'm pretty light on my toes when I need to be. Did you have a specialty in mind? Then it's settled. Capital. Aye. But it seems you've no...
He likes it thick and long.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves.
Haven't seen you around here before. New? Oh, that'll happen here. Hope Griff and his people aren't giving you too hard. You here alone?
She gives you a long look.
Maybe you ought to give those companions of yours another chance. Maybe they mean something to you after all. Used to be I had a family, a husband, and they brought us here. Now I'm just waiting for him to call my name.
Her eyes...
Kind of you to ask.
She talks for some time about birthdays, about joy radiates.
What a gift to think of them. I'd like to give something to you. Take care of yourself.
Ifan tips his finger. He raises an eyebrow and folds.
Me? Not, but you can come along for the ride. Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have.
Can't talk now.
Early memories are overshadowed by a terrifying death, a tempest of teeth, scales and snarls. Looking around Fort Joy, you feel excited. A new environment to explore, new people to meet, new challenges to overcome.
Big and strong. Combs it out all dilly-eyed.